Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Sunday as we've won. Some people might think, oh, they're only come on because they won. No, we've got a busy schedule. We've all been able to make it today. So, guys, it's our version of the Burnley Man United 1-0 victory. Guys, look, let's get the show on the road. Let's get this show started. Lots to talk about. I hope this Sunday finds you guys in good spirits. How we doing on Monday?
Yeah, not too bad. Glad Man United won. Watched the boxing as well last night. Went to bed just after midnight, Mr. B. Sorry, I missed your call. We were supposed to do a show last night, but yeah, the boxing drained me, and I'll leave the jokes about just going to sleep for bath time. But our team played our first league game this morning, and we lost 2-0 away from home against a team we drew with in pre-season. And I'm disappointed. One of my goalkeeper said he had COVID this morning. Doesn't give us time to get another goalie in, so we had to have a player go in goal. You know, it's just disappointing. The performance was okay, but once again, I mean, mistakes. They scored but the mistakes for the goals, and we missed a penalty. We missed one-on-ones. You know, but you got to take something good from everything, haven't you? And I'm glad to be. It's a bit strange being here on a Sunday evening with you guys, but yeah, I'm really excited to talk about Man United and getting back on track.
Bath time.
Yeah, my game got called off because apparently our ref had COVID. I'm not so sure, to be honest. Like, wouldn't surprise me if he didn't fancy it. Yeah, like, and on like we were sort of thinking about doing a midnight 1:00 reaction show, but because of the football, I went out early. And I had too big a meal, and I was asleep by like the second the final whistle went. I just collapsed and went to bed. So I'm sorry about that, but I had a really enjoyable weekend. Mr. B, how did you get on?
My team lost their second league game. I'm not going to go into it, but it's going to upset me too much. But just say that there will be changes made next week, regardless of people, whether they turn up late or not. The people that I'm picking, I know if they're available, I'm picking. And the ones who didn't play or don't play, I'll use the excuse that it's a cup game. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But look, I'm looking forward to the week where I win, a Monday wins, Man United win, and Bath time wins. That'll be our quad trick or whatever you would call that. But look, it's not happened so far. But Man United won. I don't even know where to start. Our score predictions, I think we all thought that we would win the game. Maybe some of us hoped it would have been a little bit more. I think I did pray for a 1-0 or a 2-1. My Monday, it was a 1-0. Was it the 1-0 that you enjoy seeing?
Well, yeah, it's always going to be that way, isn't it? I think Bath time, I think you got it right. I'm sure he went for 1-0 result. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, the game, I'm trying to sort of think back and see how it went because it was like a bit weird being in the evening at 8:00 at night as well. But yeah, I enjoyed the game. I was really shocked by the way we set up with the players. Hannibal started. Evans was there as well. Reguilon again becoming a mainstay. And I was just looking at the system. How are we setting up? I was looking at like little things, and I want to say big up to Burnley. It's very brave of them to play that style of football in the Premier League. You know, it's all right coming up, and but I think Burnley is sort of their identity, thanks to their previous manager, Sean Dyche, is known for being physical, and that's how they sustain themselves in the Premier League. But these guys are trying to play ball, and they did, like a hot knife through butter, open us up a couple of times, hit the post, didn't they, with a chance. But once we got to grips with them, I think it takes a while to get used to sort of certain man, because I didn't know who was who in this Burnley team. There's a lot of players I'm familiar with. But I think once we got to grips with them and scored our goal, we were kind of cruising, and we sort of managed the game and saw it out, which is a typical 1-0 win. And we needed it. It doesn't matter how you get the points; you just got to get the points at the end of the day. But the goal was magnificent. It was just like, wow. I mean, you size it up, you see it coming, and he connects like that. And as soon as you connect, you know it's out sweet. And it's just gone right in the corner. Beautiful goal by a beautiful player. And I have to give him props. And we move on to the next game. I don't want to sort of dwell too much on it because people say, it's only Burnley, but it's 3 points. And they did bring it. You know, that's a big game for the fans, you know, especially in that part of the world. They're waiting, they're looking at the fixture list. We want Man United, we want to beat them. And they create a good atmosphere. They gave, you know, a good shot. I do fear for them. I don't think they're strong enough to sort of survive this Premier League the way they're playing at the moment. But who knows? What am I to say? But I'm just glad with the 3 points. I'm just interested to hear from you guys as well and the guys in the panel about Hannibal and, you know, him getting an opportunity. McTominay playing as well. It's just a change we wanted. I remember last year, bath time, after we lost to Brentford and Brighton, bath time reminded us that we brought in Dalot and McTominay for the Liverpool game, and that brought a bit of strength and steel and good desire, and we won that game. And yesterday, we got a bit of Hannibal, who, let me just say this, I think Hannibal, from watching him in the academy, I thought, oh, this guy's so talented. He's a talented player. But they only talk about him about being a good runner and aggressive. You don't hear about his talent anymore. So I think that's a good thing because he's still got the talent. He's still got that there. But it's a good thing that his desire and his character is good because he's known for getting out there and having fire in his belly and wanting to play. And we all know, those who do know, he's got that talent as well. So really pleased with him. And I think this show should be dedicated to Hannibal, who's come on leaps and bounds and proven himself. You know, he got to seize the day, take that opportunity when it comes, and I'm really proud of him.
Half time.
Should we do the comments first before we get stuck in?
Yeah, all right. So everyone knows Eddie Football Waffle. Go and subscribe to his channel. If you're not, I don't know what you're doing, but he's saying big up to everyone in the chat. Big T saying it was like watching The Shining. Out of nowhere, here's Johnny. Big up to the Morning Star. He says good evening, everybody, and like and subscribe. Thank you so much, Red or Dead. He's saying like and subscribe. Thank you. And subscribe, sorry. Georgie, how you doing, man? What's up, guys? Big up. Great result by the Newcastle team. Fantastic team. Joyce was using his face as defence, says Red or Dead. How are you, the lads? Says Geordie. Big up to DM Vlogs, who made his debut the other day on Friday Night Takeaway. Big up DM Vlogs. Thought you represented yourself really well. Big T saying here, our two best attacking chances, which you could argue were only two chances that were created, were started by a fourth trained centre back. The 3 points are welcome. Put again, I'm not happy with the performance. Okay. Stephanie Griffiths in the house. How you doing? She said, big up the Three Musketeers. Mr. B, bath time and a Monday and a thumbs up as well. Mr. B, where's the Billy reaction to the Villa game?
Don't worry, DM Blogs, just make sure you're here on Friday. He's broken. He is broken.
DK Wilson all the way from the States. Good evening, gents. How you doing, man? Bouncing off the ropes podcast. That's boxing. And boxing's been taken up the weekend. How you doing? Says big up, lads. Big up, Steph. It's Munsey. Oh, Munsey. How you doing, Munsey? That's who it is. Munsey, how you doing? Emma's here saying we have no other fullbacks fit other than Reguilon and Dalot. They're going to play every minute of every game. I think Reguilon came off, didn't he? Big T saying minus the moment we were second best, possessed, not as in possessed, but football possession. Outpassing, lacking in areas, lacking in all areas. It's very negative comments about the performance. Vince is in the house as well. I'm not going to go. We want to hear from bath time. Mr. B, I was nearly right about the Arsenal Tottenham game. He's saying there he must have had a prediction. Too late now, but Johnny Evans should be our captain. Big up to Solo as well. Big up to Andy Herbert, who drew today with Spurs. And he's saying Emma's in the house as well. So I was quite happy with Hannibal. He didn't do anything shocking, good or bad. Gave a performance and looked like he matured quite a bit. And finally, I'm going to say leave this is the last one. But big up to Liam McCook. For fuck's sake, Mr. B, your eyes are glowing. He's saying, big up, welcome to the channel.
Oh, are they? Oh shit! It's just. Oh, I know what it is. It's. Oh, I know what it is. It's the light. I'm not going to move it. It's the light. Bath time. Talk to us. Come on.
I was actually quite pleased what I saw against like Burnley. I wasn't expecting us to go out and try and do anything but the basics away. Like they're a weak team. You can see it all over the pitch that they lacked physicality, which is shocking for a Burnley team. But I thought that the lineup was all right. I think unfortunately, like I don't think we're going to be seeing a lot more of Palestri. I think maybe on Wednesday will be the game that he gets his opportunity to make a stake for. But yeah, I mean, like I know people are saying they had more possession and all this sort of stuff, but I thought we controlled the game quite well. And you can control a game without having the football. You have your resting attack like Højlund and Rashford just waiting for the opportunity to transition. Hopefully they begin to understand each other's game eventually, and we get a bit better. And we also had we had two bits of luck in that game with obviously with hitting a post, but also they had an injury in the first 15 minutes, and that absolutely rapid Italian, I can't remember his name, but he looks super fast. He got moved off Delo to the right hand side, and I'll stop talking so we can read Vincent's
Vincent's dropped us what would that be, €6. Obviously Vincent's from Holland, he's our Dutch correspondent. He said big up to you, man, big up, bo. He said it could be worse. You can be an Ajax fan, and the riot to stop the Calzia game today, I didn't know about this. It took our board 1 year to destroy the club. Eric Ten Hag back. So what's going on with Ajax?
Do you not know about this?
No, I don't know. I know nothing.
I think like Vincent will probably tell us, but I think Ajax might be in 13th place in their Eredivisie, and today they're playing Eindhoven, which is De Klassiker. And the game got called off, and they started like throwing flares into the front office and stuff. And Ajax fans are not happy. But yeah, so like fun times at the Cruyff Arena.
Wow.
But yeah, I thought
Can't have him back.
Well,
he's ours now.
yeah, but I thought all in all, I think that we did all right in that game because, like, although it wasn't pretty, it doesn't matter about being pretty. We need points on the board at the moment, and I liked a couple of adjustments that Ten Hag made. In particular, what he did with Hannibal and Bruno. Like, Hannibal is not someone that I trust on a football pitch because of his track record. We've seen him come on and nearly get sent off every single time.
Didn't that so hot?
Sorry? Yeah, but I mean, it's not like one or the other. Like, you either show heart or you don't. You can show heart and not be, like, a danger to the people on the pitch around you. Like, Hannibal is, like, too excitable and, like, febrile and stuff. Like, and that's fine because he's a young kid.
Right, that's what I was going to say. He was probably so excited to get on the pitch. He probably sat down there thinking, when I get on, I'm going to show them. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying, maybe from his point of view, that he wanted to prove, I can make a difference,
Well, this is what I liked about Ten Hag's management, because he took that into consideration and he played Hannibal in the 10. And he played Bruno like in the 8, and so when you're playing that side of the pitch, one of your main defensive responsibilities is to protect the channel, right? So that means doubling up with your fullback and allowing no space in between there. And he didn't have Hannibal anywhere near that kind of defensive duty, because I think he does it. Because I think that Hannibal's he's just too explosive to sort of have to be disciplined and sort himself out all match. And I like that from Ten Hag, that rather than like say to the boy, go out and show everyone that you can control yourself, he just went, look, play in the centre and drop back into the block. No one really plays through the centre. Like, no one really plays through the centre. Certainly not Burnley. They look at the wide areas. And that's where Bruno was. And I would also just like to point out, Bruno's goal was absolutely breathtaking. That is one of the best Man United goals that I've seen since... Did he hit a volley against Brighton after a lovely transition during COVID?
Ronaldo. I think Ronaldo scored something similar
against Spurs.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that goal was absolutely sensational, and then but also what happened in the game is that our creativity was really stifled by having Bruno in that position, and I don't think that Hannibal contributed enough with the ball to think that he's staked down like a place for the first team. He just put in a reliable 6 out of 10 performance. He only really came to life in the last 10 minutes, isn't it?
Ten Hag called his performance perfect.
Yeah, but I mean, I remember my mate Ragnick saying that Fred and McTominay had a perfect defensive performance once. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, but you've taken no notice of Ragnick. You hated him, so
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. So I'm telling you what Ten Hag said. So you think he's lying about his performance? You don't
it wasn't perfect
he's
at all.
No, I don't think it was. But do you think that he's earned a start for the next game?
Yes, because it's a cup game.
Right.
No.
Okay, forget about the cup game. I know we've got Crystal Palace again. So you don't think he's going to be started against Crystal Palace?
No, because there's a serious issue at Man United at the moment involving our press, where we're winning the ball quite high up the pitch, which Hannibal can contribute to. And we're doing it over and over again. Like, we're turning the ball over loads, but it's not leading to anything. And so what we would probably be better off with Eriksen in that position in order to create chances through passing, as opposed to Hannibal to create chances through pressing. I think that I don't know if Hannibal is a finisher, like if you bring him on to sort of finish a game out or something. And I'm not dissing him, and I'm not dissing his performance. I'm just saying that I don't think it's at the required level yet, and that he should be bled into the team a bit more.
Was he better than McTominay?
No.
You don't think
both.
So?
I think they're both about the same. Like McTominay is a box crasher, and he shouldn't really be involved in ball circulation. But the problem that happened is because Bruno was having to defend the channel and stay on the right hand side, and Hannibal wasn't contributing too much on the ball. McTominay was having to drop in to make a back three to also accumulate Reguilon going forward, and McTominay isn't great at circulating the ball. I mean, he didn't really give it away, and apart from like a nuts in the first couple of minutes, he did all right. But you're not going to get too far if McTominay is your main circulator. And when you play Hannibal, if he's not trusted to play on the right side of midfield, Bruno's going to play there, and you're going to struggle to get on the ball.
Okay, Vincent's saying here, correct, bath time. Hannibal was pure energy and disruption at the front. The positions at the back he wants disciplined and intelligent. The positions at the back, he wants disciplined and intelligent players. So Hannibal was a firecracker.
Like a wrecking machine.
Yeah.
So, and this is what I'm asking. So another game he doesn't play, right? Bruno goes back into his position. Is Mount coming back? Because Mount wouldn't have done what Hannibal did. No. I mean, so I'm asking because Hannibal had a 91% pass rate yesterday.
Oh wow!
But he only had 23 passes. So was his game off the ball?
Yeah.
Was it the fact that he gave a lot of energy and gave the press that maybe they needed in the centre of the park?
Yeah. I'm really impressed with him. Like I say, he's super talented, and for him to be putting all his work in, it reminds me of Bruno, because Bruno is super talented as well. You can see by the finish, and he does the work as well. The amount of work those two put in, it sort of just puts others to shame. It's like having the talent and having the work rate together. You create the perfect, the total package of a footballer. You know, because sometimes footballers have. Just look at Rashford; he's got the talent, but he hasn't got the intelligence. Do you know what I'm saying? You got to have to be the total package. You got to have a bit of everything, and the work rate and the ability. Some players sort of one-dimensional. I like what Hannibal's showing. He's showing that fire, desire, and I think that's what kept him at the club. Because he's another one. You know, Mr. B. There's for 750,000. You could have been gone this year if you were a gallery player or something. The price was right. The price was right for a lot of these players, and I think. What it shows in training or whatever he's doing, discipline. He's listening to the manager. The manager clearly likes him because of his aggression and what he's doing. And was he at Birmingham last season in the Championship? I think that was good grounding for him. But yes, yesterday, for example, he was hustling and running sprinting to close people down, and that's what you want to see. And I think something that we required that, because I felt we've been a bit too soft in a way. We bought Mount for that reason, to give us a bit more running power, to close people down, and then so we can turn over the ball in high areas of the pitch. And and Mount's been injured, unfortunately, so we haven't really seen the fruits of what the actual result should be by buying players like this. By bringing in Hannibal and having him do all that work, yes, we did turn over the ball high up the pitch, but like Halftime was saying, then we need the quality to make things click. But I do think, I'm going to call him Trashford again, because I'm a bit disappointed with his performance. But the link-up play needs to improve for Rashford. There's things. If he starts clicking, if he doesn't keep his head down and starts passing the ball and making it sharper and not waiting and stopping and then slowing things up and not going anywhere and just doing little step overs and everything, he's a bit wasteful. Again, there's 2 games in a row where I've been disappointed with Rashford, and I think if he was to sort of just up it, level 3, level 4, just turn it up a little bit and pop off the ball early and get into sort of a pattern and get in that sort of telepathic connection with his front 3, then we would be taking advantage of these things. But I'm not seeing that at the moment. And obviously we've got a makeshift side, Palestri on one side, as we were saying earlier, who's come in, and I think Halftime thinks he's a bit soft and not quite ready yet. I think he is. I think he is a player that can play for us at the moment. But for these things to happen, first thing has to be, how do we turn over the ball, and what sort of attributes do you need for that? And Hannibal's showing me what he did yesterday: a hustle and bustle, getting in there, working really hard, putting people to shame. I like that a lot, and I think based on that alone, he deserves a shot in the first team for a long period of time.
Halftime, I've got something to ask you. Halftime, I've got something to ask you. You were talking about Fernandes, the role that Fernandes played in defensively, that he wouldn't trust. He would trust Mount in that role, right?
Yes, yeah, he's had Mount in that role.
Right, so if Mount comes in on the right and Bruno goes central, does our team improve?
Yes, a lot. But the other thing that you probably noticed during the game is that we didn't play a single pivot. We played a double pivot this time with McTominay and Casemiro. The thing with Mount and Bruno is that they can sit next to Casemiro, and then when they need to, they've got the energy and the mobility to get out to the wide areas. But they do lack the strength, and we do lack a bit of physicality in the middle. So I think that when Hannibal gets a bit more experience and the manager can trust him, we might see him or Kobe Mainoo going next to Casemiro. Because
it wouldn't be Amrabat.
I mean, Amrabat gave me the shits when he gave away that free kick in the last 5 minutes. Like, I was like, please, no, I can't do another Burnley set piece from a guy coming on. Amrabat, I'm not sure what the plan is with Amrabat, because with Shaw out for so long and Malacia seeming like indefinitely injured, we're stuck with Reguilon. I like Reguilon.
He's injured.
Well, he said he wasn't injured. He was unwell.
Yeah.
So he wasn't. He's feeling a bit. I mean, I
remember holding
once,
his leg. Yeah.
Well, look. I mean, Moyes once said that Shinji Kawawa couldn't play because he'd had too big a dinner. So I'm hoping it's something along the lines of that. He just loves mashed potato or something. But if we've got Reguilon in the team as our left-sided, as our fullback, basically, we're going to need 3 players that can play central in defence. And I'm not sure Amrabat is one of those. And I don't know if we go 4-2-3-1 or whatever. We seem to like having Rashford and Højlund as a front 2, and then just a big solid block behind them now. So I'm not sure what's going to happen with Amrabat and things, but what I do like is I did like that we were solid and hard to beat, and if Rashford's got to work harder or he's going to be dropped.
I think comments on Monday. Yeah, a few comments here. So, big up to Football United TV. Matt's Matty. He said Johnny Evans' assist was a peach, perfect goal for Bruno. And I'm just going back a bit. There was
Yeah.
some.
Is this the big T? Is this the big T comment?
Yeah, the pass from
Oh, there we
Evans
go. Thank
was
you.
better than the volley in my eyes. Now, it was a left foot pass. I'll give you that. But I just think you cannot beat the eyes on the ball and timing it, watching it come down, and just it's everything. Oh, it was a beautiful moment for me. Similar to what David Platt watching the ball coming over against Belgium and being able to swivel it. It wasn't diagonal, completely diagonal ball. It was kind of straight-ish. So to bring that down and redirect it into the corner of the net, I think that's better than the past. But I don't know what you guys think.
I agree with you.
I'm going for the goal. Yeah.
That strike under that pressure from that angle, having to watch it drop over your shoulder, match your stride to it. It's so good. I mean, I'm not dissing the pass. Like, the pass was great, and I've always loved Johnny Evans. And I used to think he was left-footed for quite a long time because of stuff like that. But the pass is great. But that finish is, honestly, I think people are underrating how good that goal is. Like, that's up there with Rooney and Van Persie to me.
Football United TV say that's a great show title. Hannibal silencing the Lambs. The Lambs being Burnley this time. WWE saying, question for all. Do you think the club should drop players, hope in private cars after game or late game? Maybe Rashford's crash was because he was tired. He had a crash, didn't he? Bruno was around, apparently. I've seen some news about that. Hopefully everyone's all right and no one was hurt.
No, he seems fine. He did post something about 3 points away from home. He's fine, blah blah blah. Look, people have accidents all the time. You know, as long as he wasn't drunk, as long as he wasn't speeding, then there's no issue. You know, he's going to be insured. So, you know, it's news. Yeah, it's news, but I don't think it's major news. I don't think it's anything worth talking about. It's just one of those things, isn't it?
It's a fast crash straight out of Carrington. Like, you know, he drives like he plays with his head down. I do actually think it's a little bit worrying. Like, I don't know what Rashford's mentality, where his mind is at the moment, but he's not enjoying himself on the pitch. He doesn't appear to be working for the team, but that's got to be a tactical thing. You can't just get away with playing like that for this amount of time.
I think it is. Can I say as well, do you feel that he wants to form a partnership with Højlund and Rashford?
Yeah.
As in the way that he tends to keep them both up the pitch together. And when Rashford breaks, Højlund seems to be... Well, Højlund's very, very quick. He goes with him. Oh. Just that Rashford never finds him. You know, there was one chance where he had a header. I think it was a move, and the header came over and he headed it to him. But that doesn't happen often enough in the game. So do you think that Rashford should be looking for Højlund more as his foil when he's playing?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, what you would want ideally from like Rasmus is him doing what Benzema was really, really good at, which is leaving a pocket of space and then coming into it and laying it off, and then like Rashford can like receive the ball with like in front of him with all the space to go into. But Rashford has played with like a who's who of some of the best strikers in Europe. Like over his career with Cavani and Ibrahimovic and Ronaldo and stuff like that. And I think what Ten Hag will be, and Kane, I think what like Ten Hag will be telling him to do is that he wants them to be like York and Cole. He wants them on diagonals, linking up, playing it around the corner, finish using their pace and their power and stuff like that. And if you're Ten Hag, I think it's essential that you get Rashford and Højlund on the same wavelength, because there was a bit in that game where like Højlund ran someone down, and it was one of the fastest things I've seen a Man United player do for years. It was amazing. But if
at the end of the game, right at the end of the game,
it was in the first half, I think, the channel.
Yeah.
Do you remember the bit? I mean,
yeah, I see that. Yeah, he is rapid. Once he gets into stride, he can go. And you know what? I think they're not far off making a little connection. Things aren't just aren't coming off at the moment, but I think it's more down to Rashford. I think Rasmus is more. It seems like he's had a good education with football, and
He's very raw though, Amonde. The runs he makes.
Yeah, but I think he's had a good education. As in, he's not like, I don't think he's greedy. I think he's got a good link up. He's trying to bring people in, give and go, and play to his strengths. And he does play a lot more central. With Rashford, we all agree maybe he's better coming in off the left. I disagree. I don't want to see them as a partnership, like a front two. Obviously, that can change with rotations during the game. But I want to see Rashford feed the guy. Someone asked about how many assists Rashford had last season, and I really don't know.
I think he had 7.
Okay, well, it's not. I think he could get a lot more.
I'm sure it was more than that, but okay.
Yeah, I think he could get a lot more than that with Rasmus in the team, because he's that threat with that pace. You've got Rasmus with that pace who can link up as well. What I'm seeing with Rasmus as well, you can play it into him, and he can sort of almost hold it up. I know he's having a bit of struggle. He's going to get used to it, but he's holding up the play, linking it off, and giving and going, that sort of thing. Once we've got the same page as him, I think we'd be okay. And
right, sorry, Monday. Are you saying that you want to see them as part of a front three,
as
not as a front two?
Not two. I want to see them as part of a front three.
Okay.
But during the game, obviously, you can get in situations when we're sort of playing deep, and then we can break. Those two can, do their thing. But I'd just rather see, you want to stretch them out and have more threats throughout the team. So you could have a guy like Anthony on the right, you could have Rasmus there, and you can have Rashford off to the left, and it just causes havoc for defence. Imagine that you're playing high up, and suddenly Man United are transitioning on you, and Bruno's thinking, who should I play it to? I've got options here. Because you can play it into space for all three. Yeah, or you play it to Rasmus' feet, get return, and fling someone else in like a third man run. It can. There's so many options there, but it just needs to click. And I think sticking, rather than trying to change it just because you've got two sort of so-called forwards now, keep it as it is. Rashford on the left, Rasmus down the middle, and someone on the right. Comments, yes, Hannibal was at Birmingham last season, says Vincent. He's from Birmingham, don't you know? DK Wilson saying here, agreed about Hannibal. His talent has never been in question, always been about him harnessing his emotions and maturity. I think that's a myth that's been created by Bath Time. Big T saying here, what's the most assists? Oh yeah, Rashford's had for us in the season. We don't know. Emma K's here saying, yes, but it also seems like none of our players can drive. Seems like they've all been in car crashes when they've been driving lately. Was it Wan-Bissaka got banned from driving, didn't he?
Yeah. I think Bruno had a car crash last year.
Oh, God. WWE saying, looking at the team, do you think it was good or poor transfer window? You've got Vincent saying here, Eric Ten Hag is not an Ajax dogmat, but a Bayern Munich influence pragmatists. So at Burnley, his tactics were dictated by the squad. At Utrecht, Amrabat was used as a militant Frankie de Jong version. So playing out from the back, Frankie de Jong, he's playing really well for Barca, by the way. Football United TV saying, agree on Monday, he caught it perfect, but to reach Bruno was the reason Bruno was able to hit that perfect sort of shot. So that's because Football United TV is the one that said that the pass was better. DK Wilson from Vincent saying here, he would do that in a heartbeat, Hannibal. Wouldn't. Vincent, wouldn't be allowed because Man United wouldn't allowed it. Vincent, you're fucking me up, man. Jesus Christ, I can't. DK Wilson saying, I see. Thanks for that info. It's too bad the players are so constricted. Appearing on channels like The Agenda would go a long way to humanising players. And one more from Vincent. He's saying here, Amrabat is not just a defensive destroyer. He can help slow the game down by kicking it around and a trigger to progression or passing or travelling a quarter pitch and then releasing the ball. Big T saying, put on a plate, you will score more volleys than you miss. Putting it on a plate is a different story. De Bruyne is taking note of Johnny's replacement. Emma, quickly, last one, saying, responded to Big T. Honestly, Evans just noticing Bruno's movement is fantastic. It's perfectly timed. So a lot of big shout out to Johnny Evans
Yeah, he had a great game, didn't he? Like Johnny Evans, he should have had a goal and an assist, and I thought he played really well in defence. Like no one's.
So can I just say, like that goal was disallowed, but I saw Man City. They scored a goal when
Oh,
there was
I give up. I'm on day.
I don't care.
I give up, man.
I'm just asking about the rules. Where's Jeff when you need him?
You know what? There's no point. The thing is, there's no point in them explaining the rules to us because I saw a handball from Tottenham today.
Oh
that
God!
wasn't given. But I'm telling you, if that person who did that was wearing a Manchester United shirt, it is a penalty. So I don't know. I don't. There's absolutely no consistency.
The same guy handballed the ball today as the centre back for Spurs. He handballed against us, and it wasn't given.
Yeah.
You know? But I'm just asking. So the goal that Bartha was talking about from Evans from a set piece, he got himself a good position, headed it in. But the guy was deemed offside. But when I saw Man City play, same thing happened. The guy was deemed, and they gave the goal. I'm not trying to say conspiracy or anything. I'm just like, I just want to know what is the rule in here. So Jeff or Casper, referees, can you please let us know? Or maybe you guys know what's going on with this. I'm really confused.
I don't know. Like, one thing that's become clear to me since VAR has come in is that I don't know the rules of football. Yeah. And it appears that like the refs go off and have like a coven, like a bunch of witches, and sort of come up with some absolutely ridiculous stipulations and like hypotheticals, and we get done on them. And normally these things sort themselves out over the course of a season, but we have been a little bit unlucky so far. But like, look, that you can't control that stuff. You can't control the refs being absolutely mental. And I think that the reaction was reasonably good from United. Like we carried on sort of like making ourselves hard to beat, closing down the spaces, always having a threat on the break. And then Johnny Evans sort of lofted that pass in. Bruno smacks it. Absolutely outrageous goal. I'm so pleased for Johnny Evans. Should never have sold him. Get me Welbeck back, and all the boys will be there.
And Nanny, he's still playing. Can I just say with Evans, what I felt he done well. So I was watching him yesterday. I'm a centre back. I played there a lot, and I noticed. All right, he ain't got the pace, but he's doing the right things. He's being calm and he's protecting himself. There's one time when he had to go and hustle a guy, and he sort of went on his blind side and then pinned him in at the right time, where other guys would be just rush in there and get caught out. So he's protected himself. He's kind of like he knows his limitations. At 35 years old, as you get older, more wise experience, you don't get caught out. And I thought that's good defending because he went to the guy at the right time. The guy had his back to him, went to pin him down, and stopped him from turning out, and which is the right thing to do. Everything that I instruct or I'm all screaming at my players, whatever, that's the right thing to do. And I'm thinking it doesn't matter about age or pace or anything like that. Centre back is a great position where you can see the whole game, and when you experience like that, that's why they play so long. Centre backs, you get these good centre backs who can stroll through games. Ronald Koeman, for example, was never the fastest, but he could read a game, pass, do whatever. But I give Johnny Evans credit. I'm not going to say because next game he could get caught out against Crystal Palace with all that pace they have or whatever, or physicality. But what he does, he's mindful of that, and he's protected himself, not just himself, but the defence, by not getting in positions like that. And I think when you're young and you've got more energy, you sometimes take more risks or try to do too much. He doesn't. He just does just enough, knowing his limitations, and that's what makes him a good player. And I'm really pleased. I know we're getting cussed. Someone said something about the transfer window and saying, "Oh, what do you really think about the transfer window?" And people say, you got Johnny Evans, you know. But yesterday, that was a good win. We needed it. He's a calming influence in the dressing room, I imagine. He's got that experience that probably we're lacking in the dressing room. Someone who's been there before, been there, done that, you know. So I think having him around is a very good thing. And he did play really well. Didn't really put a foot wrong yesterday. And I want to salute him.
I agree him on there. It was also his 200th game for Manchester United, and that's a hell of a lot of experience alongside the other 150 in the league. But what I wanted to ask you about is Evans, cool, composed, showing his experience and things. Lindelof, what do you make of this sort of like like almost like dogmatic view that Ten Hag has on Lindelof following his men all the way into their half and trying to stop them turning. Like, how do you look at this?
Yeah, sorry, I'm really keen to answer this one if you don't mind. So yesterday I'm watching it because I'm watching the defence, and I saw Evans was there and Lindelof go off and somebody got dragged into midfield following a guy. Now, if I'm Evans, I'm thinking, Lindelof, come back, bro, because if things break down, you left me isolated here. And Evans didn't do nothing. He just covered a little position, just a little sidestep, and thought, all right, let me just cover this myself. But I would be really scared seeing my partner leave the block and go and chase someone. You can chase him somewhere, but don't go all the way with him, because this guy was mugging you off, in my opinion. So Lindelof needs to sort of be mindful about how far he goes with this guy. Or his centre-back partner should say to him, that's enough, get back with me, and let's secure this, or pass him off. So that's a communication thing for me. Lindelof does do that a bit, and it's very. That's why when you asked that question, I was thinking, oh yeah, I remember when he went off, and Johnny Evans was like, all right, I'll just handle this, just in case. But you need to be careful, because once you do go out of position, especially in a place like centre back, everything just opens up, and so you don't want to be opened up like that. The most important thing is to keep nice and tight, nice and compact, and because strikers might not be scoring the goals, but as soon as you make a mistake in defence and you go down, you're going to get the blame. So Rashford could have missed a few chances, missed the opportunity to pass the ball or create something, and it's okay, we get on with it. But if Lindelof keeps doing that and keeps getting dragged out, and people realise that, then he's going to open up the defence. So I think as a defensive unit, we say you're all on a piece of string. There's only so far you can go. That string, tightens up. If you go too far, you leave me isolated here. I'm going to drag you back in and say, no, bruv, stay with me and just leave that, because I felt the guys were mugging him off. Do you think Lindelof does that a lot, guys? Do you reckon?
Yeah,
I don't think it's an instruction.
It is. That's what I was going to say. It's definitely an instruction, because he's that. Have you ever seen that film, One Flew Over a Cuckoo's Nest, Amondo?
Jack Nicholson, yeah.
Right, the ending where the big Native American throws a bog through a window and then just charges off. That's what it's like watching Lindelof on our centre backs at time. You just suddenly see them running like my dog chasing a stick, and it's not just him. Martinez does it as well, and Maguire's done it when he's been in the team. It's an instruction, and it's man marking pressing scheme or whatever. But it's something I really don't like. I'd much prefer us to be in a block, and as you say, pass that guy off. If that guy's going deep, give him to Casemiro, give him to McTominay. Or just pick him up in your zone. It's not that difficult. But I'm really worried that if Martinez is out for a bit, and it's Evans, Maguire, and Lindelof as the sort of three that are rotated, I think we're going to get caught out with this One Flew Over a Cuckoo's Nest style defending. I'm not happy about it, to be honest, but we got a super chat from DM Vlogs.
199 from DM Vlogs. He said, lads, sports are starting a more youngster versus Palace. I think there's a younger team versus Palace in a couple of days. What is it? Coca-Cola Cup?
League Carabao Cup.
Carabao Cup.
Tuesday.
Okay.
I don't. I mean, we've got the preview. We've got the preview tomorrow. You're gonna have to tune in for the preview. But my early thoughts on that is Ten Hag doesn't do much rotation, so it's going to be interesting to see what he does in that game.
He's got to rotate.
We said that a lot last season, and he didn't. We were losing our mind.
Look at all the injuries we got and stuff. He must be kicking himself about that Aaron Wan-Bissaka substitution. They told him not to play Wan-Bissaka, and he's like, I'll be fine for 3 minutes. And Wan-Bissaka's out for 2 months or whatever. He's got a Bruno played the most football of any professional last year in Europe, of over 6,000 minutes. He has to rotate, and I'll give you a quick, because you paid DM Vlogs, give you a quick spoiler. I'm hoping that little Dan Gore might get his first start, as I'm quite excited about him. He's the player I really like the look of on pre-season with what he does. But on the other hand, it's probably our best shot at a trophy this season, and with that takeover breathing and not many points on the table, Ten Hag do what Mr. B says and just, come on, lads, out you go again. See who comes back.
Big T saying, am I right in thinking the next 4 games are at home? Is anything less than 4 wins enough? We play Man City at the end of those 4, aren't we? Emma's saying here, the thing with the refs is that it's so inconsistent. If that was the same shit decisions all the time, it would be fine. Big T again is saying here, on defense, are defenders best suited to man marking or zonal marking? Depends.
Depends on the line.
Yeah. Vince is saying here, my hobbies are to ski and laughing at Arsenal and the Belgian national team as well, because he's Dutch and they're fans. When they never win trophies, if I must, I will give up the skiing. Emma's saying here, I know it's Casemiro going in defence when Lindelof followed his man. Don't know if he did that all the time, but he did it at times. Any comments on that, guys?
Yeah, I mean, I've said that I have expected Casemiro to play as a centre back at some point because we lack aerial strength and things, and then obviously he misses a pretty easy header and they nearly score. There was a great save from Onana. I'd just like to say I thought Onana played pretty well in that game. Like, that shows good character to come back after a shocker against Bayern. And I thought he made 2 or 3 good saves, and he claimed some good balls as well. So that was good to see. But Casemiro is a big problem for United at the moment because of his wages and his presence. You can't really leave a player like him on the bench, but it means that we have to get players around him to do his running, which is why you see Hannibal at the 10. You think, let's do it. I mean, what do you think? What score would you have given him for yesterday?
Casemiro.
Yeah.
We won the game 1-0. I'll give him a. He was average.
Give me an above or below or average.
Average. I'll say he was average yesterday, but I have no problem with him being average. The other players just need to, as you said, step up their game. That's why I asked. About the Bruno and Mason Mount situation, because I think he's going to have more intelligent runners around him. I just feel that moving forward, I think we're in a much better place, and I can only see more points coming our way. Yes, a lot of it has to do with the teams we've got coming, but I said you've noticed it with him not playing Hannibal on the right. We know Mason Mount will run for days. If Bruno is in a Hannibal position, he then takes up those key positions where Hannibal wasn't able to be passing the ball. Casemiro then only has to concentrate on his specific role. So it's finding a partner for Casemiro.
But does he deserve one? When was his last good game?
Who, Casemiro?
Yeah.
I don't think he's been superb. But we have to remember what our team plays like when he doesn't play. And I think that's what people need to remember and understand. He plays a vital, whether his legs have gone or not, he plays a vital role in that midfield. So I think it's up to, I'm not saying it's up to everybody else to do his running, but understand he's limited to what he can do. I'm hoping Ten Hag has realised that he's limited to what he can do. And he's now trying to protect him, because then we could be saying the same thing about Maguire. Casemiro has a job to do. Let it be his specific job. Don't let him have to do half of somebody else's running and half of somebody else's running. I just think with the intelligence coming back into the team as well, I just feel I can only see us going one way. I'm loving Højlund's runs. I'm loving the fact that he plays like a centre forward. We haven't got Martial hiding. He will run down the line. He will back into forwards, and he does the ugly stuff. So my half is that my glass is definitely half full at the moment, boy.
Well said.
All right, a couple of questions here. Obviously, on Casemiro. Casemiro seems to want to attack more than being defensive. Is he instructed to do that? And another one is DM Vlog saying, do you also think we made a mistake in not accepting 30 million from McTominay in the summer, as the board thought we would get more? Also, would you like to make Reguilon a permanent deal? Do you want to just quickly, before we move on?
What do you think I'm going to say here, Armando?
Well, it's not what I think. It's what the others, what the people on the comments want to hear what you've got to say on this one.
I'd have kept McTominay, and I wouldn't give Reguilon a permanent deal, as despite the fact he's played well and he's done really, really good, I think that he is too limited tactically and technically for the game. For the game, he can't play inside. He's not a great defender, and he's really good at providing width. But that means that you need an extra body behind him to cover it, and I don't think that that's the way that Man United want to go forwards. I think we need to look at a left back or a right back that can play inside.
Okay. Andrew Williams in the house, by the way. He's just been watching Welsh rugby. He's Welsh, if you can tell with a name like that. How you doing? Well, hope you're doing well, Andrew Williams. And he's asking what we thought of the Burnley game. Rewind, and you would take it all in, Mr. B.
Do you have anything else to talk about? Was there any other news you wanted to talk about before we know that we've got the Crystal Palace?
Just quickly, I do. I just want to talk about Pellistri because we didn't touch on Pellistri too much. I think Pellistri is worthy. He done all right yesterday again. I just think the more game time is so important. We've got another €6 coming in as well. Super chat celebration. Yes, you're getting a 10 addict here. But Vincent, we will always read out your comments regardless. But thank you so much. You're saying super chat celebration. Just read Ajax sacked our new technical director who bought average players. He lasted 6 months. Riots are not good, but it worked out. So it's what he's saying. Poor decision making by the Ajax board, which is a bit of a surprise, considering they've done so well. They tend to do so well over time.
Yeah, he can't be the guy that sold Anthony if he's getting sacked for 85 million.
It's true. I need to do my research on Ajax and see what's really going on there. How are they performing so poorly? I've noticed they're not in the Champions League. You've got all the Conference League or any of these. I don't know. I haven't seen them.
Maybe it's a Friday night takeaway discussion to have. I'd be quite interested in that as well.
Vincent, do you want to come on the Friday night takeaway and talk about European football, especially Dutch football, and just fill us in on what's going on? You'd have to get a camera and maybe show your face. Don't have to, but after I show his face. But yeah, maybe invite yourself onto the Friday night takeaway and let us know what's going on with Ajax and give us more first-hand experience about what's going on with Ten Hag as well, please. So yeah, can I just finish up on Pellistri? I think game time helps. Yeah. Now we can have these guys come in and had a game against Barcelona, but Bayern Munich the other day. Let's not judge him on that. Give him more game time, especially now. There's an opportunity with both Sancho and Daniel. Give this guy. Huh?
I've said that so that you're not going to remind me.
Yeah, give him the opportunity because games. Look, you know what I'm saying? You need in football. Very rare you could be sitting and saying, "Oh, that's my guy. I hope he gets injured." Now you got guys, Sancho and Anthony, both out. Play the young man and let him show what he's got. Trust me, just give him a few games, like consistent. Remember what happened with Tunzabi? Played one good game, then he didn't have that consistency of games after that. You know, same with Elanga. Played one good game, and he scored a lovely goal in Europe against Atletico Madrid. Then in and out. You know, it's not good for a player to do that. Pellestri's got an opportunity now. Whoever's going with Sancho, Anthony being out, and issues like that, he can have a run of games or 60 minutes or come on. You know, he's got to be involved more, and then we will see what a talented player this is. Because I believe in Pellistri, I really do, and I think there's Garnacho, there's Pellistri, but I'm more of a Pellistri man because Garnacho's Pellistri pace and dribbling and directness, thing. But Pellistri for me, he's got a lot of IQ. He's a team player, lovely turn, lovely balance, head up when he's passing. He looks the link man up. I think he's a beautiful player, and I just think now's the opportunity. The window's been opened, door's been opened ajar. Walk through it, bro. Get that, you get some more game time, and to get the fans behind you as well. Because I don't think we've seen the best of him because of lack of game time. So I thought he played well the other day, yesterday. And I thought he played well against Bayern Munich as well, even though he's munched. He was a bit overwhelmed by the seniority of these players. But it's a learning experience. And I think we've got a gem there that needs to be played. Give him game time, the confidence will come.
Yeah, did he play yesterday? I might have been asleep for that bit.
No, he didn't play.
No, him and
Garnacho. Bye.
Yeah. No, I'm just checking.
Bye.
I'm checking him
Sorry,
on
that's my
days.
point. Bruno play, but make him play. I want him to see this guy play. Now there's the opportunity to play.
This is the thing, Monday. This is what I told you last week: is that Palestri's had 2 starts under Ten Hag. Like, I don't think he rates him, and I agree with you. Like, I know all the hype is with Garnacho, but I like the look of Palestri more. I think he's a more grounded boy. Like, I mean, Garnacho's hilarious, but he is incredibly chaotic. The way he lives his life, but with Palestri, it's very clear Ten Hag does not fancy him. Like, he's not his player. He didn't give him his debut. He didn't bring him into the team. He's tried to loan him out a lot, and I don't think you. I think he will start on Wednesday or Tuesday rather.
Tuesday.
Yeah, I think he'll start, but I don't think, as I said, I don't think you'll see a lot of him. And the other thing is Garnacho seems to have fallen out of favour a bit as well. He started against Wolves, and he might have played he might have played against Spurs, but we haven't really seen him since then. And it could be second season syndrome. But I think what it is that those 2 guys are not good enough in the defensive phases of the game. And that's why they're not playing. And I agree with you. I'd love us to be able to play Palestri and Garnacho a little bit more, especially as Rashford's doing my nut in at the moment. But when you look at someone like Rico Lewis or Foden over at City, when they broke into the team, you didn't see a lot of starts. You saw them sort of coming on in games and things, maybe starting in the Carabao Cup. And I'm not sure. Like, I think you're going to be disappointed if you think that Palestri is going to start more games. But I agree with you. I'd like to see more of our youngsters get a chance. But we've got so little points on the table that they don't have the opportunity, and it's the players that are in front of them. It's their fault. It's not the youngsters' fault. It's the rest of these useless whatevers for letting them down. We're not winning games 3 or 4-0 and letting Palestri come on for 20 minutes or whatever. It's really unfair on them, and you'll see the same with Amad Diallo as well when he gets fit.
Oh God, I forgot about him. Mr. B, what do you think about Palestri? Because Big T is saying here, Ten Hag is heavily invested in Anthony. He does not want Palestri to shine.
No, that may have been the case before, but it's definitely not the case now. He needs Palestri to be shining. I'm just not sure Palestri is going to get the starts in the big games. I expect him to start tomorrow, but there's a few players I expect to start tomorrow without going into too much what Solo's 11 is going to be like. I do expect there to be a few changes, but it's a game that Ten Hag's going to want to win. We don't want to win the cup and then go out the first round the next year.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting it to be strong, with obviously giving a few people an extra few minutes here and there. But I'm worried about his game time, if I'm honest, on Monday. I think it was harsh that he has only played the Bayern game. He was thrown into that game, and he didn't start the Burnley game. But I'm also taking the Burnley result over Palestri's feelings. So I'll take the 3 points. We've got Crystal Palace, which is a game that obviously he can play in. And then he maybe lays down his marker from that game to the league game on the Saturday.
Okay, just quickly, Vincent saying that would be great, guys. Just let me know how. Vincent, if you want to come on an agenda, if you got Twitter, go and Twitter the Man United agenda and message us and we'll get back to you.
Go Twitter, yeah? Or Instagram. You can do it on Instagram as well, to be fair.
Instagram.
Or Instagram. Either one of them, we'll pick you up and we'll get you on.
Palestri and Garnacho still play like kids, says Emma. In a way, players mature and progress at different rates. DK Wilson saying, agreed, by half-time. Defences when Palestri and Garnacho are really lacking. Garnacho lives a chaotic life? ? What? Elaborate on that one.
Have you not seen
birthday parties?
Yeah. Yeah. It's just Garnacho's just a little bit mental, and his brother is as well. And that's fine because they're still children, basically. And I just really think that if I was in their position, I would be really on at Bruno and the senior players for letting me down. They should be winning matches and like letting me get on for 20 minutes. It's highly annoying.
Okay. Again, Vince is saying here, it's so funny people think Erik ten Hag has favourites. He can drop you in an instant if he thinks you can't serve the team. Donny was one of his key players. And Deacon Watson obviously asking about Garnacho. And DM Vlogs saying, you lot got Twitter as well. Yes, we do. Message, I don't know how you messaged before, DM Vlogs, but you got yourself on Friday
He did
night.
it on, he did it on the
Instagram?
he did it on Insta. He did it on Insta. So
if you want to come on, guys, Instagram or Twitter, message us and we go from there. We'd love to have
and
you on.
DNF said, I'll let you know. I'll let you know before Friday. I'll give you more than enough time to have a shave and get your hair looking all pretty. Now, wind it up, man. There was nothing wrong with your weekend till we felt taking the piss. Don't worry, man.
Big T saying that Garnacho's brother made the Island Boys look tame. Do you know the Island Boys? Have you seen them?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dear, dear. All right.
Clones, isn't they? Guys,
oh my God.
we've hit the hour mark. We will be back tomorrow with the Crystal Palace preview. There might be 1 or 2 surprises in Solo's 11. There might not be. It might be what we expected. But look, we've got a full week coming up. We should have a watch along Tuesday, God willing. Wednesday we will be back. Thursday we'll be back. Friday we'll be back. Saturday or Sunday. Just hit the notification bell. If you are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. If you are not, then just hit the notification bell because we know that you've been here before. But it's me, Mr. B. Bath time. He's become a regular, which is a great thing to have. And on Monday, my partner in crime from day one. Guys, we say every week, you don't have to be here. We appreciate that fact that you are. We are the Man United agenda. We are out. We will see you all tomorrow.
Later.